Hey, Zack Snyder keeps posting these DC pictures, so I'm gonna keep making these videos. Restore the Snyderverse, restore the Snyderverse, restore the Snyderverse.
Ready the Armada. We will use the old ways.
The Snyder Bros and Paramount are trying to save Hollywood. Netflix and the James Gunn fans want more of this vibe in your action and sci-fi movies. The Snyder Bros and Paramount want to bring back this vibe.
Dylan! You son of a bitch.
It's time to go back to formula, you guys. If you go woke, you will go broke. But let's take a look at this new image of Clark Kent. So yeah, we see here he's in his waiter uniform from Man of Steel in that diner scene. And this is just a great picture of Henry Cavill, a great picture of Clark Kent, you know, a nice working man. The caption reads, "Everyone's got to get a job, even Superman." Before saving the world, Clark Kent was waiting tables. Yeah, Clark Kent actually had a couple odd jobs in the Man of Steel movie. He was working on a Deadliest Catch boat. Clearly he was a waiter for a little bit. And he was like a hired hand on that military expedition to Antarctica or whatever. But yeah, only the best Superman get a diner scene. Remember Superman 2? Christopher Reeves, he had a diner scene. And there's always gonna be a jerk there running his mouth.
Gee, I think perhaps somebody ought to teach you some manners, sir.
Yeah? Well, let me know when he comes in.
I'll probably just leave when I'm good and ready.
I love this diner scene from Superman 2. I mean, you see him like, hey babe, I got this, relax, this guy's talking crap, I got this, you know.
Well, let me know when he comes in.
Look, Clark, we can just...
Honey? Excuse me, sir, would you care to step outside?
Clark.
You probably couldn't even get away with that in 2025. It probably would be viewed as toxically masculine, but he in fact did not have it. He did give up his powers to be with Lois. But while we're looking at this scene, look at his reaction to seeing his blood for the first time.
Clark?
Blood? It's my blood.
Look how angry he is at the person who calls him to bleed for the first time. I just think it's interesting that this is his reaction to seeing his blood for the first time, but in Superman 2025, Superman's flying back to battle smiling after seeing his blood for the first time. I just think that's very interesting. But yeah, the best Superman get a diner scene, and they always get their get back on the guy who wronged them. Christopher Reeves shows up at the end of the movie and slides that jerk all the way across the bar in epic fashion, and that's after he shatters his hands on his abs.
Gee, that's funny. I've never seen garbage eat garbage before.
And we know that Henry Cavill Superman destroyed that guy's 18-wheeler. Superman shows restraint, but he always has a limit.
Look, Clark, we can just...
Honey?
I just love Zack Snyder's vision for Clark Kent. We see a legitimate Clark Kent. We see Clark doing actual factual reporter work. We see him looking over evidence. We see him going to police stations, asking questions, talking to witnesses, talking to family members. He's a great reporter, and I love Zack Snyder's vision and showing Clark Kent as a reporter.
The police won't help. The press has to do the right thing. You don't get to decide what the right thing is. When the planet was founded, it stood for something, Perry.
It's nothing like Superman 2025, where you see David Cornsweat Superman like almost bragging about how he's interviewing himself as Superman.
Superman did say he thought the Hammer might be faking a Baravian accent.
Superman said that.
Yeah, I interviewed him right afterwards. Great guy.
You know, it's funny that you keep getting all these interviews with Superman, Clark.
I don't think there's anything funny about good journalism, Lois.
They play it for a little comedy, and it's really unethical if you think about it. Christopher Reeve Superman didn't do that, or Henry Cavill Superman. Everyone knows Lois Lane gets all the exclusives. Henry Cavill's Clark Kent was perfect. He was almost peak Clark Kent, but I'm not gonna go that far because Christopher Reeve's Clark Kent was amazing, and he really set the benchmark. But Henry Cavill's Clark Kent was just a great guy. He was a great son. I mean, how do you not like this guy? I hate when people try to say Zack Snyder doesn't understand the Superman character. How can you say that? He gave Superman great Kryptonian parents and great Earth parents, which is straight from the comics. Henry Cavill's Clark Kent was saving lives as a young boy. He was saving lives when he was a grown man, of course. He's saving those workers from the oil rig explosion. He's saving kids from burning buildings. He's saving families from floods. He saved the Earth 3 times, you guys. Once against General Zod, once against Doomsday, and once against Steppenwolf. That's billions of lives. This guy saved so many people. All that damage in Man of Steel 1 came from General Zod. And it was Superman's first day on the job, and you notice in Batman v Superman, he took Doomsday right into space the first chance he got. He definitely learned his lesson of collateral damage. But the guy has literally saved the planet 3 times. That's like tens of billions of lives. And if you watch Batman v Superman, you know he didn't even approach Batman to fight. He approached Batman to talk to him. He isn't dark. He isn't emo. Lois Lane doesn't die and he just goes into like an evil Superman. Lois Lane dies and then Darkseid corrupts him with the anti-life equation. Darkseid is just him. him, and I like how Zack Snyder was planning on showing Darkseid winning the first time around, and then we have to go back in time with the Flash. Darkseid is just truly that formidable. But people saying Henry Cavill Superman is just an ore farmer and whatever, that's just low-hanging fruit. The guy can't control that he looks great on screen. He's not dark, he's not emo, he's just a guy trying to do the right thing. Zack Snyder had a vision of putting these heroes into our real world, our real reality. Not some fantastical reality that's just bright and colorful, but no real stakes. Like I said, Henry Cavill Superman saved the world 3 times. David Cornsweat Superman, I mean, what did he do? Mr. Terrific was the one who closed the rift. Jimmy Olsen was the one who broke the story that got Lex Luthor arrested. Krypto was the one who put hands on him. Superman just stopped Lex from escaping from the portal. And without Krypto, that Superman probably would still be getting hands from Ultraman or whatever. I don't know, you guys. Restore the Snyderverse. I am here for this version of Clark Kent. I love this Clark Kent. I want to see more of this Clark Kent. The guy's a class act and a great reporter. We were robbed of cinematic greatness, you guys, but we will get it back if people are smart and want to make money.
Anti-life is found.
Some of you guys may be here for all the jokes, but I like something a little bit more serious, and I think my subscribers like something a little bit more serious, and that's what Zack Snyder was gonna give us. And I don't think Zack Snyder even had plans after Justice League 3. I think he just wanted one complete story. He was gonna put a nice bow on it, give it to us as this work of art, like a real artist. He wasn't just gonna keep making movies past the prime like Marvel's doing right now, and now they've almost lost their original core audience. He was gonna give us a complete work of art, and then they can reboot after that. But in my opinion, we need to see Darkseid, you guys. We have to finish that story. Subscribe if you agree. We were definitely robbed of some cinematic greatness. Zack Snyder was planning an epic final crisis. But what do you guys think about this Henry Cavill Clark Kent picture? Are you happy Zack Snyder is continuing to post? Do you think the Snyderverse is coming back? I think the Snyderverse is coming back in some capacity. I do not want any animated stuff. I want pure live action just like we had it before, just to finish up Zack Snyder's vision, then we just reboot after that or do whatever after that. But Henry Cavill as Superman is still a gold mine. It's the most untapped potential in the superhero genre over like the last 20 years. But I don't know, you guys, these are all just my opinions. But if I said anything you can agree with, join this side of the internet. We are taking over in 2026. No one's doing it better than the Super Real. Go watch this video on why I think the Snyderverse is coming back. And as always, thank you for inviting me into your home, and thank you for joining me in mine. I'll see you guys in the next video.